There is something deeply wrong with the way ancient Egypt begins. Not wrong in the sense of violence or chaos, but wrong in the sense of impossibility. When Egypt first appears in history, it does not crawl, it does not stumble, it does not experiment. It arrives complete. Writing already perfected, religion already unified, kingship already divine, symbols already standardized, no childhood, no learning curve, no visible mistakes. And that should terrify historians. Because civilizations are supposed to grow. Egypt didn't. It emerged. Around 3100 BCE, when most of the world was still struggling with survival, Egypt unveiled a system so polished that it would remain unchanged for 3,000 years. The question is not how great ancient Egypt was. The real question is far more dangerous. How did it begin so perfectly and so suddenly? This is not the story of pyramids. This is the story of a civilization that seems to appear without a past. This is Lara, and this is Beyond Time. According to tradition, a ruler named Narmer, also known as Menes, unites Upper and Lower Egypt. But this unification is not just political. It is religious, symbolic, cosmological. The white crown, the red crown, merged into one. The king is no longer a man. He is Horus on earth. This idea, divine kingship, appears fully formed. No evolution, no debate, no alternatives. And once established, it never changes. For 3,000 years, Egypt follows the same blueprint. No civilization in history has ever shown this level of continuity. Which raises a disturbing possibility. What if unification was not the beginning, but the final step of something much older? Archaeologists call it the Predynastic period. That name itself is misleading, because when we examine the artifacts, they are not primitive. Early Egyptian art already follows strict proportions. Symbols already carry cosmic meaning. Burials already reflect belief in the afterlife. There is no chaotic experimentation, no messy trial and error. Instead, we see consistency, the fingerprint of a system that already knows what it is doing. One artifact changes everything: the Narmer palette. It depicts a unified kingdom, divine kingship, religious symbolism, and political dominance, all in one image. This is not the beginning of a civilization. This is the announcement of one. It's as if Egypt steps onto the world stage and says, "We already know who we are." For centuries, historians have relied on one explanation to make ancient Egypt feel safe: the Nile. A long river, a predictable flood, rich black soil. According to the traditional story, the Nile fed the land fed the people, and civilization naturally followed. But this explanation collapses the moment we look closer, because rivers exist everywhere. Mesopotamia had the Tigris and Euphrates, India had the Indus, China had the Yellow River. All of them supported agriculture. All of them sustained life. Yet none of them produced a civilization like Egypt. The Nile explains survival. It does not explain sophistication. It does not explain why Egypt appears with a fully developed writing system, a unified religious worldview, sacred symbols that never change, a political system that dominates millions. Farming does not create theology. Floods do not invent gods. Soil does not design cosmic order. And yet, Egypt begins with all of it. Even more disturbing is the timing. Egypt's earliest inscriptions are already precise, its religious symbols already fixed, its artistic proportions already locked into rules that would last for thousands of years. This is not how ideas behave. Ideas evolve, they compete, they fail. But Egypt's ideas arrive finished. The Nile floods every year, but floods do not teach astronomy. The river flows north, but rivers do not invent eternity. Egyptians did not simply learn to live beside the Nile, they organized their entire universe around it. The calendar, the gods, the afterlife, even the direction of death. West was where the sun died, east was where it was reborn. This is not farming logic. This is cosmic thinking, and cosmic thinking does not emerge from mud and water alone. The Nile may have fed Egypt's body, but something else fed its mind. Something that arrived before history learned how to record itself. And whatever that something was, it did not leave instructions behind. Here is where Egypt becomes uncomfortable. Where are the earlier stages? Where are the broken ideas, the failed symbols, the transitional forms? They should exist, but they don't. Instead, Egypt's earliest layers already show advanced astronomy, sacred geometry, ritual precision. It's as if Egypt inherited a system rather than inventing one. Some scholars suggest climate catastrophes, vanished settlements, oral traditions lost to time. Others remain silent, because admitting what is missing would force a terrifying conclusion. Egypt did not invent itself from nothing. Something came before, and whatever it was, it is no longer here. Egyptian religion speaks of a time before kings, a mythical age, an age when gods ruled directly on earth. Historians call this mythology, but mythology often preserves memory, not fantasy. The Egyptians themselves believed they were continuing, not creating, that their role was preservation, not innovation. That is why change was forbidden. That is why tradition was sacred. That is why the past mattered more than the future. Egypt was not obsessed with progress. It was obsessed with remembering, because forgetting meant collapse. So when we ask how Egypt began, we may be asking the wrong question. The better question is this: what ended so that Egypt could begin? A lost world? A forgotten culture? A chapter erased before history learned how to write? In the next episode, we will go deeper, beyond the pharaohs, into the shadowed age before kings, because Egypt did not rise from nothing, and the truth of its origin may be the most dangerous story of all.